S is back. Back.
STRIVECast is back. Jeff, what episode is this?
Season 3,
Episode
44.
40.
Yeah,
Welcome back to the STRIVECast, everybody. We have a small crew today. He is on assignment, so it's us. So why don't we introduce ourselves? Susie, do you want to go first?
Of course. Susie Courier, and I am full producer, brought by my girl, right? I assume she's a producer as
Hi,
well.
everybody. Great. What about our hosts?
Todd Thompson, Homie G.
No, Pon Thompson, Homie G. And who's our other host? Down there on the bottom of the screen. And Jeff. Woo! And Ryan, you want to introduce yourself?
I am Ryan, the sound and video engineer.
Right. So we're all here. Introductions go fast when it's a small group.
Yes, it does.
Know who we are interviewing today?
Yes, yes, we sure do, girl. We are interviewing David.
Daniel.
Daniel.
And where does Daniel work?
He works at a caramel garden.
Yeah, so we're interviewing Daniel from the Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens, and that should be really cool to chat with him. The gardens are always fun to visit in the summer, and we have a couple people that said they've recently been. So
I've been there for months of times, and it's Whitney's turn to go there this time.
we might be planning a trip there. So that's
In Booth Bay Harbor.
in Booth Bay Harbor. And then we also have a special guest coming on. Who's that?
John Keeley.
John Keeley.
John Keeley for his monthly fun facts will be joining us as well. So what do you say? Should we get going, or are there other things that we want to bring up while we're all together?
I don't think so.
I do.
Okay.
No.
Here
Is
we
it
go.
related to the podcast?
The podcast is the best way to get involved.
All right.
We all do, I must say.
This show on the road. What about you?
Yes. Let's do it, girl.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeff, you want to take us to break?
We'll be right back.
And welcome Daniel to the STRIVECast.
Yes.
Hey everyone.
All right, Noel, you have the first question.
Welcome to the STRIVECast, Daniel. Tell us about Coastal Maine
Botanical.
Botanical Gardens.
Yeah, so we are actually New England's largest botanical garden, and we're on the coast of Maine in the town of Booth Bay, right off of Route 1, and we're almost 300 acres in size. We have got a wide range of gardens here. We've got a lot of wild spaces and hiking trails. We have a section of our property that's along the Back River, which is a tidal river that goes out to the ocean. And we are open every year from the beginning of May until the middle of October. We welcome people from all over the country to come check out our gardens and our forest. And then, of course, this year, we've had a really big exhibit that has gotten a lot of attention, our giant trolls. And those giant trolls are mostly hidden throughout the woods on our property. And you have to go on a hike and an adventure to find them all.
Cool. Yeah, those trolls look really cool in photos. And I was telling this group I'm on vacation next week, and I hope to get up there to see them in person.
They're really fun. Yeah.
Great. And Jeff, you have the next question.
What is your average day in your role?
Well, what's an average day like in your role?
Yeah, so my job title is that I'm the Vice President of Guest Experience and Education. And so basically, I'm a manager. I oversee a lot of other leaders who lead their departments. So kind of under my umbrella that I'm responsible for, I'm overseeing the market. So like the cafe where everyone gets their food. I'm overseeing the garden shop, like our gift shop. I'm overseeing our admissions team that's out front, get people getting tickets and arriving for the day, and then all our education staff. So what that means practically, like that would be way too much if I actually thought about the market and the food and the gift shop and the front desk. So all of those departments have people that they're in charge of. There's someone that leads the market, there's someone that leads the gift shop and the admissions team collecting tickets. And I am their manager. So I kind of help them anywhere that they need help. Because they're pretty busy with the day-to-day, making sure they're ordering food and they've got people at the cash register. And I'm kind of like an extra person for them as their manager to help with some of the big picture stuff. Maybe we're planning a renovation to the space. Maybe they're having trouble getting enough people for the job and they need help figuring out how to get new people. So a big part of my job is actually kind of helping like this next wave of people that are working in lots of different parts of the organization with things that might be coming up for them. And then all together, we make up this guest experience team. So the goal is, when you come here, whether it's that moment where you give your ticket or you're buying your food, you're having a great time, you're having a good experience, everything is working really well for you as a guest and a visitor. And we're all kind of, like working together to make sure that everyone that comes here has a really good time while they're here.
Sounds busy.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of different pieces going on all at the same time. Yeah.
Great. All right, Noel, you got the next one.
What are your guys looking forward to for the rest of 2021?
So I would say we're looking forward to two things. Hey, Susie, I love your hat. Listening live can't see that.
You had to go get a prop in the middle of the
got a
interview.
Coastal Maine Botanical Gardens hat. That looks great. So I would say we're looking forward to two different things. We've been having a ton of fun with this big troll exhibit that I mentioned. We've had a lot of people come to the gardens for the very first time because of the trolls, and they've loved seeing the trolls, and along the way they've discovered that the gardens are a really fun place to visit too. So we're just excited to keep doing that. The trolls are a really big project, and we still have about half of our season since we're open through the fall. So we're just excited to keep this up and keep welcoming people to discover us. And then the second thing in 2021 is Gardens Aglow. I don't know if any of you have come to Gardens Aglow. Last year we did it as a drive-through to make it safer during COVID. And this year we're actually doing it as a drive-through again. So pretty soon here, we're actually already going to start putting up the lights for Gardens Aglow. It sounds kind of crazy, but we do start putting lights up in September for this holiday show. And that's, not that next month, really, we'll be starting to put lights up for Gardens Aglow.
There's lots of lights to string.
It's a lot of lights. It really does take about 3 months to get them all up.
Wow.
So at first it goes kind of slow because, we're working around everyone being here. And then the last couple of weeks we're closed and then we're putting more up. But we find that we do have to get started early. Yeah.
Cool. All right, Jeff, what's your second question?
What is your favorite part of your job?
I think my favorite part of my job is, sometimes day to day, I don't spend as much time with guests because I'm busy with supporting all the staff that are working with guests. But every now and then I do get to have these really special connections with guests, or I hear about them. And you hear about what an amazing day people had here. You hear people just say, you'll hear like a family and their kids will say, this is my favorite day of the summer so far. Or you'll hear a parent explain that your kid got so inspired about nature and the environment because of their visit. Or a family say that it was the best day of their vacation to Maine. And it feels really good to know that when people came here, they had a really good time. And not only they had a good time, but like it really left a memory for them. It really like had a positive impact for them that maybe they're going to carry with them for a long time, that special day they had with their family here. So my favorite part is when I get to hear stuff like that and be reminded that we get to make something special happen for people.
Awesome. And Noel, what's your last regular interview question?
What is your hardest part of your job?
I would say the hardest part of my job is, you know, you kind of never know what's going to happen because, like I was saying, in some ways my job is about being a problem solver. When something comes up that's not part of the day-to-day, you know, maybe somebody is quitting because their family is moving, or we have a couple of people that are out sick and we don't know, or a food delivery truck didn't come. So you kind of never know. You can have a day where things look like it's going to be a pretty calm day, and then it's, you know, we've all had days like that. All of a sudden, all the bad stuff happens on the same day, and so for me, my job is helping people with things like that. And you never really know what's going to come up, and if this is the day where the lightning storm comes and the food doesn't come and someone's sick, and you got to just sort of figure out how to help everybody with each kind of unexpected problem that might happen.
All right, and that has the last formal interview question.
How can people find updates and visitor information?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Jeff. Because right now we are really busy and it's good to prepare before you come. And so our website is the best place for people to find out updates. It's just mainegardens.org, gardens with an S. And so we do sell out. So we do ask people to buy their ticket before. So you do want to get onto the website, make sure you get a ticket, make sure we're not sold out. And that's also where you can find a lot of other information about like what there is to eat here. If you're somebody that might need to borrow like a scooter or a wheelchair, how that works when you're here, what kind of shuttles we have for anybody that would like to get around by a shuttle, how far it is from each of the trolls, because they are actually pretty far apart. So there's a ton of information online to help you plan your visit. So you can check that out before you come.
Great. And Ryan will put that information up on the screen too.
Yeah, and our Facebook page is also a pretty good place for anything like last minute. And we're often like sharing, for example, the latest flower that's in bloom. So that can be kind of cool if you're coming and you're really interested in making sure that you see a particular flower, or you're really excited to know what the newest thing is going to be that you can see, then Facebook is good for something like that too.
Well, those were all of our regular interview questions, but what is it time for now, guys?
Lightning round.
Lightning round. So get ready, Daniel. Right. It's time for the lightning round. And usually,
buckle up, Daniel.
Yes, buckle up. And usually kicks us off for the lightning round. So Jeff, what's your first lightning round question?
What is your favorite sport and why?
My favorite what?
Sport.
Sport.
My favorite sport to watch or to do myself?
To do for yourself.
To do for myself? I would say cross-country skiing. I really love to go cross-country skiing in the winter.
Fun. Noel?
What is your favorite kind of garden?
My favorite kind of
garden.
Oh, my favorite kind of garden. Ooh, that's a tough one, actually. Oh my gosh. Well, you know, maybe how I'll answer that question this year, for the very first time, I have a little greenhouse at my house. It's not, and actually my favorite garden might be the one that's inside there, because I have all my tomatoes growing in there and stuff. And so I'm just really excited about a garden where in that greenhouse, I get to, you know, control how much water there is, and like not have to deal with all of the problems that sometimes happen from the outside. So that's one of the first things and the second thing I think of is like kind of like a wild looking garden, you know, where you've got lots of wildflowers and butterflies and bees and all kinds of different plants that insects love. That's my other favorite kind of garden.
Good answer. All right, Susie, do you have a lightning round question?
Yes, I do. What is your favorite pet?
My favorite pet?
Yeah.
My favorite pet right now, we don't have any pets at my house unless you count our chickens, which my kids do count our chickens, but I don't really think of chickens as pets. But I would actually really like to get a cat. So I had a cat when I was a kid, so I'm gonna go with cat.
Get a cat. That's her favorite pet too. All right,
You always
Jeff, lightning round question.
Yes. What is your favorite superpower and why?
Favorite superpower.
My favorite superpower, I have always wanted to, my gosh, the more I think of, the first thing I was gonna say was to be invisible. But then I also think that maybe to fly would be even better. I think flying would be even better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite chore
Your
at the
favorite troll.
Oh, my favorite troll at the botanical garden. I think my favorite troll is there's the troll called Birk, who, if you come to the gardens, so all of the trolls are also part of a tree. And so there's a tree trunk troll, there's a roots troll, a leaf troll, a flower troll, and a branches troll. And Birk is the troll that is the roots troll. And he's down by the river. And if you look at him and if you kind of look at how his body is, he's actually kind of looks like he's pushing himself up from underground. Actually, I think the reason Birk is my favorite, not everyone knows this, but he was the first one that got finished. And so I sort of like spent the most time with Birk. And it was the first one when Birk was finished, you really had this feeling of like, wow, this is going to be so cool when all 5 of them are done, because you could feel how cool the first one was. And so I feel like I've known Birk the longest. And so I think Birk is my favorite.
Cool. We'll have to keep our eye out for that one. Susie,
Yo.
last lightning round question for you, and we'll have Ryan do the famous last question.
What? Tell us the best joke.
All right, we're just skipping to the famous last question. So tell us your best joke.
Oh my gosh, my best joke. Oh my gosh, my kids right now have so many silly jokes. I don't even know where to start. Okay, this one's a little bit long. Is that okay?
That's
And
fine.
I'll get it right. It might take me a minute to get it right. Okay, yeah, so this chicken comes into a library and the chicken is like, "Bok, bok," and the librarian's trying to figure out what's going on. And so the librarian's like, "You want to get a book?" And the chicken says, "Book?" The librarian gives the chicken a book and the chicken leaves and the chicken comes back again. And this time it says, "Bok, bok." The librarian says, "You want 2 books?" And the chicken said, "Bok, bok." So the librarian gives the chicken 2 books and the chicken leaves. And a little bit later, the chicken comes back and the chicken is like, "Bok, bok, 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 bok." The librarian says, "You want 3 books?" And the chicken says, "Bok, bok, bok." So the librarian gives the chicken 3 books and the chicken leaves and the librarian is like really wondering what's going on here. So the librarian follows the chicken and follows the chicken all the way back to a little pond. And in that pond, there's a little frog and the chicken is showing each of the books to the frog. And the frog is saying, "Read it, read it."
That was a good one. Well,
I wasn't
Daniel,
sure if I would remember it all, but
that was great. We'll
yeah.
have to use that one, stick it in our back pocket for another.
Yeah.
Well, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. It was so
Yeah, hey, it's really
fun to learn
my
all about the
pleasure.
gardens.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to talk to all of you and thanks for your questions and thanks for thinking of the gardens and we hope you guys come to visit. We would
Yeah.
love to have people out here. Yeah.
We can't wait. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks again. Goodbye.
Let's all say
everyone.
bye
Have
to
a great rest of
Daniel.
your
Thank
day.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Daniel.
Bye.
All right, Jeff, you want to take us to break?
Yes, we'll be right back.
STRIVECast is brought to you by.
You're at here.
Here.
Susie and Ryan, you want to tell our listeners about our summer special?
Well, summer special is about your ad goes right here on podcast.
Mhm.
5
Yes,
episodes
yes.
for $50.
5 episodes for $50. What a deal.
What
I
I
should people want to advertise with us.
Well, we give them this one, and number two, we need to try it out to them to see what they advertise for us to try out on podcast
Yeah.
every single Tuesday.
So their business or brand could get in front of all of our listeners, right? And you would say all kinds of good things about them.
That's right, we do, because we are good folks, models, number one, and number two, we are good, working hard on this
Mhm.
every single Tuesday, and
Very true. Very true. Ryan, you want
And
to remind
your ad can advertise your brand or your business and help benefit your business, and also support Strive, a great nonprofit organization supporting folks with intellectual developmental disabilities.
Great. You want to remind people what the price of our summer special is?
5 episodes for $50.
5 episodes for $50. And how can people get in touch with the STRIVEcast?
call our phone number.
Yep. So 207-774-6278. Or they could email us, right?
Or-
strivecast@pslstrive.org, right?
Right.
Great. So hopefully we'll have some new sponsors coming up soon. All right, Jeff, you want to take us to break?
Yes, Whitney. We'll be right back.
All right, it's time for Fun Facts with John Keeley.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, John.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fun Facts with John Keeley. Today, I'll be telling you about orcas. Killer whales, or orcas, belong to the oceanic dolphin family. Orcas are found in all oceans. Most are abundant in colder waters like Antarctica, Norway, and Alaska. They are also found in tropical and subtropical waters. Orcas can weigh up to 6 tons and can grow to be 23 to 32 feet long. That's almost as long as a bus.
Wow.
Orcas have 40 to 50 teeth that are up to 4 inches long. If they lose teeth, they don't grow back. Orcas have a diverse diet, although individual populations often specialize in particular types of prey. Some feed exclusively on fish, and some hunt other marine mammals like seals and other species of dolphin. Orcas are highly social. Some populations are found in groups called pods. Orcas are very intelligent creatures. They communicate through underwater sounds. They make distinctive noises, so orcas in one pod can sense if another orca is part of the group. These sounds help them travel underwater.
Cool.
Now, anybody have any questions?
I think we do. I think Jeff has the first question. Jeff?
How long does orcas live?
How long do orcas live?
Some findings show most don't live more than 6 months. If they live past 6 months, most orcas live 35 to 100 years.
Wow. Holy cow.
Wow.
Susie, do you have a question for John?
Yes, I do, my girlfriend. How do they hunt for food?
They hunt similarly to a pack of wolves. One will splash a piece of ice to throw a seal off, while another eats the seal that fell off.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think Noel's got your last question, John.
Mm-hmm.
Can orcas smell?
No, they rely on hearing and echoes to tell if there are objects near them.
Cool.
Oh, like Echo the dolphin.
Yeah. Those were some really cool facts about orcas, guys. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, great. Thanks for coming on, John. And we're looking forward to hearing about what we'll learn about next month.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, John.
Bye.
Bye, John.
Yeah.
See you on Thursday.
Thank you.
See
On
ya.
Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye, John.
Bye.
All
Okay,
right, Jeff,
bye-bye.
you want to bring us to break?
Right back.
We're back and it's time for
Susie's Kids.
all right. You have a song?
Susie Kids. Susie Kids. Everyone like Susie Kids. Yeah. Okay.
Who's about today?
Otters.
Otters. Great. So we have 4 Susie's Q's questions about otters today.
Yes, I do.
Want to read the first question?
I'm on it, girl.
All right.
Some otters hold hands while sleeping. Is that true or false?
So some otters hold hands while sleeping. Is that true or false? As always, we will start with the ladies, and Susie is the only lady that is playing today. Susie, what do you think? True or false?
I think true, girl.
True. All right, let's go down to Jeff. Jeff, do you think that otters hold hands while sleeping?
Whitney, I say that's false.
False. All right. Ryan?
False.
False. And Noel.
Oh, I say true or false. Is it a slipper or a hand?
The question
Oh,
says
first.
hands.
It's
I'm gonna
either
go
true or
with-
false.
I will go with true.
True. All right. So you got Susie and Noel in at true, and Jeff and Ryan in at false. And I hate to break it to you, but the ladies are off to a great start. That answer is true.
Yes.
So we have points for Susie and for Noel. All right. Question number 2.
Sea otters have the big word.
The densest.
Densest fur of any animal. Is that true or false?
So do sea otters have the densest fur of any animal? So the most dense fur. So let's start it with Noel.
I think F.
F.
False.
All right. How about Ryan?
True.
And Jeff?
I'm gonna go the true same as Ryan is.
True, same as Ryan. And last but not least, Susie.
I think it's true.
True. So we have Susie, Jeff, Ryan in at true, and Noel in at false. And I'm sorry, Noel, but the answer is true. Otters need a thick coat because furry animals, they have no blubber for insulation. An otter spends 5 hours a day grooming its fur. So we got points for Ryan, Jeff, Susie, and how could I forget? I forgot to read the answer of number 1. So let's go back to that and hear about them holding hands. So sea otters often hold hands while sleeping on their backs. This is especially handy for moms and babies so they don't float away from each other. Cute.
That's cute.
Question 3, Susie.
Okay. A baby otter's fur is so dense that it can't dive underwater. It has to float.
So true or false, a baby otter's fur is so dense that it can't dive underwater. It has to float. And we'll go back to Susie. Do you think that is true or false?
I think it's true, girl.
He's going with true. All right, let's switch it up and go over to Ryan. Ryan, do you think that's true or false?
True.
True for Ryan. Noel, true or false? What'd you say? You gotta get close to the computer. We can't hear you. True. Okay, and Jeff, true or false?
Whitney, I'm gonna go with true locked in.
We're all in at true, and that is good because the answer is true. So this is very helpful for moms who have to leave their babies when they go off to look for food. They can leave them safely floating, maybe in kelp, so they don't float away while they go hunting for lunch. When they get their adult fur, they can dive. Pretty interesting.
Pretty interesting, girl.
All right, so our fourth and final question.
This is all of the girls. A group of
Resting.
otters called a troop.
So is a group of resting otters called a troop. Noel, do you want to start us off? Do you think that's true or false?
I think I know is true.
True.
Like Ben True.
Right. Jeff?
Whitney, I'm gonna go with true locked in.
True, locked in.
Yeah.
Ryan?
True.
True. And Susie?
True, girlie.
True. All right. I'm sorry to say, no point awarded for that one. It is false. A group of resting otters is called,
I should have said that.
sometimes as many as 1,000 otters will wrap themselves in seaweed or kelp, some holding hands and form a large raft of otters. Who?
Wow.
Susie, sing us out.
Girl. Susie cute. Everyone likes otters. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Are we ready for updated totals?
Yes.
All right, so somehow Whitney is still in the lead, even though she did not play this week with 88.5 points. Susie has moved up to 87 points. And then all three of the boys, Jeff, Ryan, and Noel, are at 86 points.
Wow.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
All right. And Jeff, you want to take us to break?
Yes.
Oh, this is Susie's.
We'll be right back.
We're back, and it's time for
Oh,
My segment.
Serves.
Ask Jeff. So Jeff, we have a listener question today for you. Robert in Buxton. So Robert asks Jeff, in honor of the Olympics, if you had to compete in an Olympic event, which one would you choose?
I think I do love to swim, and I do like swimming, but I don't like the deep end.
Oh, so maybe swimming wouldn't be the best choice.
Actually, I think I would like to shot put.
Shot put. I can see you being good at that.
Yeah.
Mm,
Should we ask the other guys what they'd like to do in the Olympics?
I need to do shot put
Noel wants to do shot put too?
and weightlifting.
You and Jeff would be a shot putting team.
And
mine-
bocce ball.
Is bocce ball in the Olympics?
I believe not. I believe when I was in the Special Olympics, I in the lead of running because running is my favorite thing to do, and do you remember when I was in the lead for running in the event at Special Olympics? I almost beat the tall person in my lead.
Wow. Pretty good.
Yep, and I'm fast on my feet.
I bet you are. Ryan, what would you compete in if you could get the chance to?
Maybe some kind of like relay race.
Relay
Like on the, like maybe even like you jump on these bags or something. I don't know if that's something in the Olympics, but something like that would be good.
Have you guys been watching the Olympics on TV?
What about you?
Well, have you guys been watching the Olympics?
Yes.
No.
No. A no from Ryan, a yes from Susie. What about you, Jeff and Noel? Jeff, Noel, you gotta sit a little closer to the computer.
Not really.
Not really.
What about you?
Hold on.
I have not been watching the Olympics, but I have been a little bit watching it with my mom, but not too much.
Yeah. I like watching the gymnastics.
Uh,
I told if in Special Olympics running event, I think I'll beat you in a race.
I'm not a good runner.
Oh, yes, you are, girl. Come on.
All right. Well, Jeff, is there anything else you'd like to say to Robert in Buxton?
nope. I think Whitney. I think I'm all set.
All right. Well, thank you to Robert. And if you have a question for Jeff or any of our crew, email it to strivecast@pslstrive.org. So, Jeff, you want to take us to break?
Yes, we'll be right back.
Welcome to Noah Tree.
Welcome to
Poetry,
Noah Tree.
Noah Tree. If you have, once upon a time, there was a telephone, but someone lost the telephone. If they had a yearbook for the Strive walks, but the walk forgot to fall down, if he can pick up the walk and start dancing with it and call it Strive walks then.
Wow. Let's give it up for Noel. Can you tell us a little bit about what that was about?
Yep. About the walk was about Strive walks. like you can dance with a rock and call it stripe rocks.
There we go. So like a pet rock.
Yeah.
A pet rock.
And the phone was doing cold calls for donating the rock to dance with.
Huh? Maybe we should incorporate in next year's Strive Rocks. Yeah. Anything else to say for Noel Tree this week?
Once a pony, always a pony.
Once a pony, always a pony.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess Noel Tree is over. And enough. Take us to break.
Yes. We'll be right back.
STRIVECast is brought to you by
Listeners like you.
Listeners like who I am.
Morgan Wallingford.
Yeah. Thanks, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan.
And if you'd like to be our listener of the week, just give us a special like or shout out on any of our social media websites or send us an email, strivecast@pslstrive.org. Thanks, Morgan.
Thanks, Morgan.
All right, Jeff. We'll be
Back.
Right back.
Cast is back. Back.
Podcast is back. And what's it time for?
5K race.
Oh, wait. Wrap.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Let's go in. Oh, yeah. Let's wrap it up. Oh, yeah. W's. Oh, yeah.
All right. And this crew wanted to talk about a number of fall Strive events, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I think Noel's going first. Noel, what is our first fall event that's coming up?
The 5K race.
The 5K. Do you know when it is?
September
18th.
Yeah.
So our 5K this year is taking place both virtually and in person.
Yes.
We're
That's
going
right.
to have an in-person race on Saturday, September 18th at 8 a.m. right at Strive. Or if you want to do a virtual race, you can do that anytime that weekend. So Friday, September 17th through Sunday, September 19th. So information and how to register for the race can be found at pslstrive.org/strive45. And maybe Ryan could put that website on the bottom of the screen. So that will be fun. So September 18th, 5K. And then Susie, what comes up right after the 5K?
I think our good friend, our neighbor, which is Kevin on the roof.
Kevin on the roof. So Kevin goes up on the roof Monday, September 20th. And Susie, if people don't know, what is Kevin on the roof?
Well, Kevin is a good friend of ours, and he goes up to the roof on Monday, the 20th, but he always gets, when he gets his money to go down to the ground to get his money, and by that is what Pete and Liv, they are on the ground to help Kevin to get off of the roof.
That's right. So Kevin starts September 20th. And Kevin, like Susie said, our good friend Kevin, camps on the roof of Patriot, Subaru, and Saco, and doesn't come down until he raises a certain goal. And guys, I talked to Kevin a couple weeks ago, and guess what his goal is this year?
What?
$50,000.
Wow.
Wow.
So the Strive team will be at the roof all week of September 20th. So come down and visit us and maybe throw a few dollars in Kevin's bucket to get him off that roof pretty quickly, right, guys?
That's right.
All right. And then Jeff, we have one more fall event. What's that?
The auction.
The auction, that's right. So our auction takes place in October. And right now we're looking for auction items. So again, if there are businesses or people that are listening that want to donate an item, reach out to STRIVECast at pslstrive.org. So we've got a busy couple months coming up, huh?
Or they're gonna call Whitney at 207
774-62.
6278.
All right.
Or-
Before we say goodbye, let's thank our guest, Daniel from the Coastal Maine
Ooh,
Gardens. That was a great interview, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, and one more
Too bad
thing.
he's not hiding it under the desk.
He is not under the desk.
It was a great interview with him. So Strive is still hiring for many positions.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
go check out any available positions, pslstrive.org/employment.
Perfect. All right. Should we thank each other? So thank you to Noel and Jeff, our great hosts. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And Susie, our producer, thank you for keeping us on track.
And look at you too, girl, because you you are the part of the producing too.
Thank you. And Ryan, as always, thanks for making us look and sound good. So
That's right.
I guess what's left is to say goodbye to our listeners, right?
Bye.
And we'll see them next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.